welcome back to the Brittny Way. I'm Brittny. If you're new here, we're glad to have you, and if you've been a day one, I'm glad you're back. So today's video is going to be the second video in my middle school to medical school, the Blueprint series, where I'm going to be talking about how to ace the medical school interview and giving you 10 do's and don'ts of the medical school interview. So if you're interested in seeing that, then stay tuned.
Is this gelato?
Before we go any further, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and if you're feeling this video, give it a thumbs up, and let's just get right into it. So do number one, do your research. Make sure that either the night before or prior to your interview, sometime prior, make sure that you research the school and find out everything there is to know. When you go in to ask questions, show what you know first. So for example, say, I see that you all have a huge interest in community outreach, and you have 5 equal access clinics that provide free healthcare to the underserved in the surrounding area. That's your showing what you know. Then you ask, what opportunities are for medical students to be involved in leadership positions in the equal access clinics or in community outreach settings? Boom. You showed what you know, but you also showed that you thought about a very thoughtful question. Okay? Do number 2, know your application, your primary and your secondary application. You will be asked about the things that you put on your application, especially if it's an open application interview. And so it's important that you know everything that you wrote. They're going to ask you about your research. So even if you did your research 5 years ago and you kind of don't remember it, go and refresh up on those things, because that is what they're going to go off of. So number 3, practice, practice, practice. Look online for medical school interview questions. They vary from school to school, but just know the common ones like, tell me about yourself, why do you want to become a doctor? And just sit down with yourself. You can write it out, you can record yourself, or you can have a mock interview. Some students, some schools offer mock interviews, but even if your school doesn't, then you can have a friend or a family member sit down and ask you the questions, and you can record how you answer them. And so that'll help you out when it comes game time. And it's like, it's not that you've heard this question for the first time. You can go in there confident and knowing that you thought about this question beforehand. Now the don't is, do not memorize your answers. You don't want to go in there sounding robotic and like they can tell that you're in your head and you're just thinking about what you wrote down, the long paragraph. Don't do that. If anything, just write simple bullet points that are like talking points for you to remember, so that it can just come out very conversational and not like you are reciting some Shakespearean play. Number 4, be honest. Do not lie. Do not fabricate. Do not try to, don't play yourself, okay? Be honest about who you are and what you've done. The people that are on these committees have done this time and time again. They are really good at seeing through the you know what. Okay, so just make sure that you're just always being honest. It's better to be honest than to be caught in a lie, because that is just gonna go downhill. So obviously that is the don't lie. Just be honest, be you, and just own it. Do number 5, be confident. Be confident in who you are. Know that you are at that interview because you had something in your application that warranted it. You deserve to be there just as much as all of the other interviewees. Just go in there being yourself, being confident in what you've been able to accomplish up to this point, and just own it. That does not mean to be arrogant. Even if you're the best applicant in the entire world and you know you're gonna get into every school you interview at, be humble. Don't go in there arrogantly and just acting like they need to have you at that school, because truth is, no matter how good you are, they don't. So number 6, be enthusiastic, be friendly, be engaged, and everything throughout the whole day. It is a very long day, so you want to just make sure that each interaction you're being authentic, you're being enthusiastic, you're showing that you're interested. It could be them showing you around the campus, like talk to the medical students or the tour guides, ask questions, just stay engaged. Do not Do not nod off. Get sleep the night before. Don't nod off in the interview. That's not sending a good signal. Don't get caught on your phone because it looks like you're disinterested. And just try to do your best to just be friendly and speak to everyone and just stay in the present. So number 7 is to just relax and be yourself. Remember, this is a conversation. They want you. Now it's up to you to just show them who you are. And it's okay. I understand I was nervous, it was nervous, but I try to turn that into nervous excitement and just try to like relax and be myself, and just at the end of the day, all you can be is you. So just try to take a deep breath and stay present. Number 8, first impressions are everything. You want to dress professionally and conservatively. Like, you can definitely show your style, but this is not the time or place to rip the runway. It isn't. You just have to understand that there's a way that you can come looking neat, looking professional, looking, your best without going overboard. So remember, firm handshake, eye contact. Make sure that you are sitting up straight, you're engaged, you're like leaning forward, you're not like leaning backwards. Just make sure that your entire look is professional and is welcoming. Do not wear flashy makeup or flashy jewelry or very strong perfume or cologne or 6-inch heels or sneakers. Like, this is an interview, you're gonna be walking around a lot, and you also just wanna make sure that you're not doing too much, but you're making a statement, but in a very subtle way. I can also do a video on what to wear to a medical school interview. If that's what you all want, comment down below, and I would be happy to do that for you all. So number 9, ask great questions. Make sure your questions are thoughtful. Make sure you're asking a question that really shows what you know. Like I said earlier in the video, shows what you know, and also ask a very thoughtful and creative question as a follow-up. Ask questions that you can't find on the website. That's the do not ask questions that you can easily go and find on the front page of the medical school's website. That just shows that you just did not do your research, and as we all know, that's rule number 1, is that you need to know the school, and you don't want to give off the idea that you did not do your research. Make sure you have 2 to 3 questions for your interviewer after your interview is over. And that is a must. Do not go in and say, when they ask you, do you have any questions? Oh, no, thank you, that's great. No, don't do that. Trust me. And also, remember, everyone is part of the interview committee. Every single person. You have to go in there. It's a long day. It's probably let's say it's from 9 to 5. Every single person you meet, you have to go in with the idea that they are on the interview committee. And you have to be friendly. You have to, be engaged, be enthusiastic, all of those things. Just remember that you don't know who has a say. You don't know who has a say. And lastly, number 10, after your interview is over, the day is over, make sure that you write a thank you letter. You can either send an email. Me personally, I did handwritten thank you letters, which I thought was very personal. And what I did was, before I left the interview, I made sure that I got everyone's information, all of my interviewers' information, their emails, or where I could send these letters to. And I also made sure that I remembered something personal from each interview to write in the letters that I sent in. And so just keep that in mind. Take with you a notepad where you can jot down emails, phone numbers, addresses, and just write something as soon as you get out the interview, like, hey, if we talked about we both love hiking, then that's something, oh, it was so great to talk to you about hiking. I hope that, or you recommend a trail that they hike or that they could hike that you know about. Just something that kind of jogs their memory to the interview jogs their memory of you in the interview. And then the last don't is, do not ever think that after the interview, your interview is over. Everything moving forward is still game. So whether that is you emailing the university asking for updates or application status, for your decision, all of that can make or break your admissions into, or your acceptance into the university. So just always maintain the highest level of professionalism and integrity and just courtesy. So those are the 10 do's and don'ts of the medical school interview. I hope that you found these tips helpful, and I look forward to answering any questions that you all have. Just comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up if you love it. And remember, be you, be true, and always believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. Remember, no bees, no honey. Keep the hive alive. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.